Hello everybody, how's it going? Today we're going to have problem number 28. It's about write the program to fill an array elements with random numbers from 1 to 100, same like the previous problems. Then display the prime numbers in the array. This time we want when the compiler return for me random numbers. For example, the user wants to return or wants to get 10 randomly numbers. From these 10 random numbers that the user wanted from the compiler or from the program, we want to check which one of them is prime number printed for us in second line of code. For example, if there's an input 5, the output should be the array1 elements are, first array random numbers, we got it, elements are 93, 38, 18, 69, 43. So from all these numbers, 5 random numbers that the compiler returns to the user, which one of them is prime number? The prime numbers in the array1 first array are 43. Just one of them is prime number. The compiler display for us the string. The prime numbers in the array 1 are 43 because 43 is the only prime number in these random 5 numbers that the compiler returned into the user. So now let's go to the Visual Studio to see how we're gonna convert this requirement into code. Alright, this is our solution of problem number 28. Write the program to fill an array elements with random numbers from 1 to 100, then display the prime numbers in the array. Just want the prime numbers in the array that the compiler is going to return them for us as a random numbers or elements. So let's do the program to figure out together. Perfect. So once we did run, the compiler display for us this question: how many elements do you want to get randomly? Let's say 10 to find at least 1 or 2 or 3 random number. Perfect. The array 1 elements are 39, 86, 46, 81, 45, 76, 90, 71, 67, 39. And the only prime numbers from all of them here. The prime numbers in the array 1 are 71, that's correct, and 67, that's correct. These are the only 2 prime numbers from the 10 random numbers that the user returned them to the user, which is me. Now, so let's go to the code to explain it. First thing we have here enum. We just say prime and not prime. This enum already we take it many times before in the previous course and even in the beginning of this course number 3 or 4. Okay, and we have here em prime not or not. We use the user defined data type of the enum. Also, this function check prime or not prime function, we explained it in the previous course and we explained it in this course in the beginning of the lessons of this course. If you want to know how this logic inside the check prime or not function work, you have to watch that videos, okay? Because I will not explain them in this lesson. As I said, this roadmap is complicated running, so you have to watch the lessons in order, the videos in orders, to understand how the programming work, how the developer think, and how to think like developers, all right? Because the things that you already explained before, do not repeat it again for the time of the videos, and at the same time do not be bored and you have already get used about it and practice on it. If you not practice before, so you'll not understand anything now. If you practice before, you will be a real developer, you will be a good developer, and you will have a brilliant future, and you will understand everything I say it right now. So after the enum, we have check prime or not prime function. We also explained it in the previous lessons, as I said. And we have generate random number. We explained in the previous lessons also in this course. And we have this procedure, get array elements with random number, also we explain it. And the only procedure it's new for this problem to solve it, copy the prime number in the array, but we'll not explain it now because we start in the main function. And we have display array also, we explain it in the previous lessons. So let's start from the main function. We have strand, you already know it, for the rand built-in function, okay? And we have integer array1, its capacity, or array1 of 100, let's say, and array length, the length, it's variable and array. And after that, we call the get array element with the random number. This function we explained before, but let's open it again just to remind you very fast. Once we did run, the compiler displayed this question for us on the screen because it exists here in get array elements with random, because we call it after the arrays that we declare them and the variable, we call first thing this procedure, right? So when we call this procedure, the compiler go inside this procedure, found this question displayed for us. Ask us how many elements do you want to get randomly. We say number 10, for example, the compiler take it and store it inside array length. You already know these things, and don't forget to word it by ref. Okay, to use it down in the main function or in other functions procedures. All right, so after we display these questions, how many elements do you want to get randomly? We take 10, for example. I insert number 10 once I did run to the program a minute ago. I take number 10, store it inside array length. We have length now, 10 numbers randomly we want, and we say integer I equals 0, while I, which is 0, less than length. That's true because length stored inside number 10. Array of I equal generate random number. We let the compiler go to generate random number. We also explained it in the previous lessons. I will not explain it in this lesson. It's idea that we use rand built-in number, we use rand built-in function, and we let the compiler return for us random number between 1 and 100 according to our range here in the parameter of generate random number. We got that random number, we store it inside the first index of the array, which is array of I, because we have the length of the array 10 slots, 10 positions. So we take the first random number, store it in the first slot or the first position or the first index of the array. Okay. And I++ to move the array to the second index. When we get the second random number, we store it inside the second index or inside the second position of the array. So this is the get array elements with the random number procedure. Let's get back to the main function. After we use srand, as we said, to use the rand built-in function, and we define data type, we declare array of 100 and variable, and we use this procedure that we just explained right now for maybe 10 times already, because I shouldn't explain it, I already explained before, but I choose some time to get back a little bit to explain some functions or explain them to make it easy for you and give you the idea of the new problems, how we solve it. Okay, so we explained this right now. Get array elements with random number. Array, it takes array1, it will be empty, and we fill it by using get array elements with random procedure. Here it's empty. When we declare it, it's empty, but we already fill it. We fill 10 slots or 10 positions according to the line that the user inserts through the screen by using generate random number function that we call it inside the get array elements with random number. And after that, we define another integer data type. We declare another variable. We name it array2. This one array1 of 100. This array2 also of 100. Its capacity 100. And another variable, we name it array length 2. This one 1 and this one 2. And we call this procedure copy the prime number in the array. We want to get prime numbers, compiler will return it to the user. So what we give it in its parameter, we give it the array1. The array1, it will be already full with the numbers, the random numbers, and array2 is still empty, and we give it array length 1. The length, it will be 10. Okay, 10 slots, 10 positions. This belongs to the array1, and we give it the array length 2, which is also empty like the array2. So let's go to copy the prime numbers in the array. Let's go to this procedure, copy the prime numbers in the array. It takes, as I said, array1, which is already full with the numbers, random numbers, and array2 is still empty, and the length is already full from the array1 numbers, and array length 2, it will be empty. And also don't forget to make it by ref, because we want to use it down in the main function. We want to print just the prime numbers. All right, print the length and the numbers of the prime number. So let's open this procedure. What it has inside it, it's integer I equals 0. Perfect. And we use the variable here in the parameter that we take it from the main function. We use it as a variable here. We said equal 0. We assign to it 0. It's actually 0 from down, but we give it initial value. We say 0. And we say while I less than array of length, the first one. Okay, array of length is 1, which is 10. 0 less than 10, yes. Compiler will go inside this while statement and execute this if statement. If check prime or not function, we already explained it in a previous lessons. You should know what is it. You know what? Let's jump for it a little bit to just remind you. Where is it here? Check prime or not. Let's open it. Perfect. Check prime or not. It's logic. What? It takes the value, which is the number. Okay. The first number in the index. Let's say it's number 40. If value less than or equal 1, return not prime. Why? Because we say all the negative numbers and 0 and 1, then not a prime numbers. From 2 and above, we can find prime numbers. So we check in the beginning. If value, let's say that store inside number 40, because we take it from the first index of the array, the compiler return it to the user, it was random number 40. We take it here, we store it inside value. Why we store inside value? Because we call the check prime or not inside the copy prime number in the array. Here we call it. So when we say if check prime or not, and in its parameters we give array of I, which means we take the first number that's stored in the first index of the array. The first numbers, they're stored inside the first index of the array. Let's say it's 40, number 40 or 30 or 60, whatever you want. Okay, so we will come here inside the check prime or not. We will take this number 40, for example, and we say if 40 less than or equal 1, no, it's not 40, it's greater than 1. Why we do this? Because we want to check if the number 0 or negative number or 1, we don't want to go to the process and take me out of this check prime or not, directly return for me not prime. Why? Because all the negative numbers and 0 and 1, they're not prime numbers. From 2 and above are prime numbers. 40 is not less or equal 1, so it's not prime number, so the compiler will not go inside this if statement, will pass it, ignore it, go here to the for loop statement. Integer I equal 2, we start from 2 because the prime number is starting from 2. I, which is 2, less than 40, value we take it from the array of I down. Let's say that the random number, first random number is 40. 2 less than 40, yes, go inside the for loop and execute this if statement. If 40 mod I, which 2, give me 0 equal 0, not prime. But the compiler will not return prime unless that we finish the lapse of the for loop statement. Because here when we said if value mod, like if 40 mod 2 equal 0, return not prime. If it's giving me 0, return not prime. Return not prime. If it's not prime, because it's written, it will take me out of this old function, user defined data type function, because we use the name of the enum, okay? But if it's prime, the compiler will not go inside this if statement and complete I++, and again ask a value mod 3, because I++ I already represent 3 and value represent 40, as we said. 40 mod 3 equal 0. If it's give me not prime, if it's give me 0, so it's not prime, take me out of this procedure. If it's prime or it's not give me 0, complete the I++ until the lapse or until the for loop statement condition become false. The compiler will return for me, it will return for me prime. If it's not prime, it will return me not prime and take me already out of the all this procedure before I reach even here. Why? Because the return keyword is do like the break statement, take me out of the procedure. So we just explained so far the check prime or not prime function. Let's get back to our main topic, which is this procedure that solved this problem in this lesson. Copy the prime numbers in the array. Okay, as you say, while I less than array length, I store inside the 0, array length 10, because the user wants 10 random numbers. So if check prime or not, and we give it the array of I, the first number in the array, first number in the index of the array, okay, that's stored in the first position, equal prime. If it's prime, please take the first number. We tell the compiler, please take the first number of the array, take the first number that's stored in the first index, in the first position of the array, which is number 40, for example. Store it inside the array2. Array2, it will be empty. So now we take the first number that the compiler returned for me randomly by using generate random number function. We take the first number that we stored inside the array1. Take that first number in the first index. We store it inside array2, which is empty. We assign it down in the main function. It's empty. We don't assign to it anything. Why we take it to the array2? Because it's prime number. If it's not prime number, the compiler will not go inside this if statement and will do I++. But if it's prime number, for example, store it inside the array2. So array2 now has first number stored inside it in the first index. Why in the first index? Because we say array length 2. We make the number grow or move with the length, because we don't have length. We want to create length. So how we will create length for the array length 2? By using this line of code. We say array2, which is empty. We really take the first number from array1, we assign it to the array2, and in the same time in squares bracket we said array or array2 of array length 2. Array2 of array length 2, which means store the first number that we take it from array1 inside the array2 inside the first index. Okay, inside the first index. When we say array length 2, which means the first number that we take it from array1, we store it inside array2 inside the first index of the array length 2, because we have two lengths, array length 1 and array length 2. The array length 2 belongs to the array2. Like this, we store the first number, which is prime, and also we have one index, we create one index of the array length 2. This is the line of code means array2 of array length 2 equal array1 of I. So we take the first number of array1 that's stored inside the first index of the array1, we store it inside the first index of array2, and we say array length plus plus. We move the index by 1 of array length 2, because the second number, the second random number that's stored inside the array1 of I, because we will say here I++, we need also to move array length 2 plus plus, which means I++ now the index already represent number 1, second position in the array1, right? So when we come here, we say if check prime or not array1 of I, I already represent 1, which means second position. Second position, different number, because we have 10 slots according to our array length. When the user wants to retain or get 10 randomly numbers, we have 10 slots, 10 numbers, 10 slots, 10 positions. So here, when we already say I++, we move the first array length, array1, we move its length by 1, which means we go to the second position to get the second number. Let's say it's 37. 37 here, we will check if 37 it's prime or not. If it's equal prime, it's prime. Go inside the if statement condition and say array I of 1, but now we're talking about the second number in the second position of array 1, which is 37. Take it, because it's prime number, take it, store it inside the array 2, array length 2. Why? Because we already say before array length plus plus, which means we already move even the second length to the second position to take the second number from array 1, store it inside the second position of array 2. I hope that you got it, but it's easy. You can look at it, write it from scratch, repeat the video, listen to me well, you will understand it. Okay, so that's the idea of how we got just the prime numbers in the first array on array 1. We use while statement. We said I0 less than the length, yes, we go to check. This if statement just to check. If check prime or not, we give it the first number in the first index of the array 1. We check this number that's stored in the first index of the array 1. We check if it's prime, please store it inside array 2 and move the index of the array 2. If it's not prime, just move the first index or upgrade the I by 1 to move to the second index of the array 1. And here in the end, we have just display array procedure. You already know, no need to open it. So after we call this, copy the prime numbers in the array, we take the array 1, it's empty, it's full, sorry, and array 2, it's empty, we fill it according if it's prime or not, and array length it's full, and array length 2, we also fill it according to the prime numbers, if we have prime numbers or not. Because sometimes when I did run, instead that I want 5 numbers or 6 numbers, randomly numbers, there is no prime numbers within them, so it will be empty. So the array 2, it will be empty, it will not print for us any prime numbers, any numbers, and the length it will be empty. Okay, so we move it with the numbers, with the prime numbers. If we have prime numbers in array 1 that we need to take them to the array 2 and print them separately, those numbers are prime numbers from the array 1. And here we just have strings. The array1 elements are, we call this procedure display array. We called first the array 1 and the array length of the first array, which is the 10 random numbers. We print them here with this string, the array1 elements. And after that, the second string, the prime numbers in array 1, in this array, we call the same procedure, display array, because the display array procedure, its logic, it just display to print for us. For that, this function or this procedure is generic. You can use it to display anything you want, array, something else. And that's what we call reusability. And all the time when I told you, you have to make your code generic, you have to write the logic in proper way, in correct way. You have to know how to think like developer, because it's help us now. Instead, I write each time a specific procedure to print something I wanted. I will write one time a generic procedure, for example, to print for me anything, and I will use it to print for me anything I want in the program. Like now, I use it many times. Display array, same. But the first one, it display for me all the numbers, the random numbers that the user want them from the compiler or from the program. Print for me that 10 numbers according to how many numbers the user want. And the second time, it's print also for me, but just the prime numbers. Okay? Because we give it the array 2, which is inside it just 2 or 3 numbers are primes from the 10 numbers. Or maybe it's empty, we don't have prime numbers. And the length. The length, just to let the compiler not miss one prime number, we have to move with the length, okay, to account also the length. Because if you not do this, you will have, for example, 1 prime number or 2, and there is 2 also prime numbers in the array 1. It will not be printed. Why? Because you don't account the length. You don't move the length. You take the first number, you store it in the first array of the array 2, and the second number from array 1, you store it also in the first index of the array 2. So you erase the first prime number that you already stored and its prime number. You have to move the index of array 2 to give each number specific index or position in the array 2. Okay? So you have to also build array length 2. And once we did run, let's do run again. The compiler display for us how many elements do you want to get randomly. This question already know it. let's say 5 this time. The array elements are 79, 84, 1, 58, 59. The prime numbers in the array 1, we just want the prime numbers from these numbers. Two numbers we have, 79, that's correct, and 59. Let's do again run just to show you that sometimes I will not have any prime numbers. How many elements do you want to get randomly? 5. Look, the array 1 elements are 54, 21, 93, 58, 50. The prime numbers in the array 1 are 0. Compare them, doesn't print anything for me. Why? Because we don't have prime numbers. None of these are or is prime number. Okay? So we don't have prime numbers, we don't have length, it's empty. But let's do run for the fourth time. Sorry, let's do 10 random numbers. Yeah, this time I have 2 random, 73 and 17. So that was the lesson of today of problem number 28. Try the program to fill an array elements with random numbers from 1 to 100, then display the prime numbers in the array. To solve this problem, to understand it well, you have to know how the check prime or not prime function user define work. You have to know how the generate random number function works. You have to know how the another function like get array elements with random number work. If you want to understand this lesson, not just rely on this function that we built just for this problem, which is copy the prime numbers in the array. No, because this function we just built it to help us to get the prime numbers in the random array. But all the previous functions, all the functions that already exist in this problem, we already explained it, and we take them slowly, step by step, from I think lesson number 10 or 9, or from the beginning of the course. So you have to watch the lessons in orders. All right. And even the display array, its logic, you should already know it. It's easy and simple. You should already know it. If you watch and practice on all the lessons and give yourself time, not rush, and just watch it like a football match, don't watch me like football match. It's programming. Okay. It's not something you enjoyable. It's enjoyable. You could enjoy it if you would like it, or if you want really to be a good developer, take it as career. If you would like just to watch me as a football ball, I'm swear you will not understand anything here. You will thought that I'm doing magic, and it's not magic. It's easy and stupid thing. You just have to take it slowly and step by step and practice each lesson. You close the lesson, you repeat it, you watch it again, you write the code by yourself from scratch, and that's what's going to strengthen your developing skills. All right. So that was the lesson of today. See you next lesson, next problem. Ciao.